have restarted this episode so many times. I've changed the narrative and the structure of it, but nothing feels as good as, honesty does. I've really been dealing heavy with anxiety. I just recognized that I've had it, and I think I've been operating out of it for my whole life. This episode for me behind the scenes has been so healing because I've just like taken my time, and as hard as it has been, have asked for help and have worked my way through anxiety for the first time. I feel like it's like on a scale of 1 to 10 when it was at like 1 billion, at like a manageable 10, I think now. I'm excited to show you what the trailer looks like, what it used to look like, remind you guys a little bit. This episode is really confronting all the things that I have messed up over the last really realistically the last year of doing it, and starting to decorate it at the end. But throughout the whole episode, you're gonna see me kind of pop in and just talk to you about it. Because what a phony I would be is kind of how I was feeling like if I just came back and was like, I'm fixing all my mistakes. That's what this is. This is me working my way through a crazy amount of anxiety by doing all the things I've been avoiding, because that's what was causing my anxiety. Shall we? One thing that's helped me through this whole experiencing anxiety at this level for the first time is just maintaining a minimal morning routine rather than like overloading myself with like, you gotta journal, then you gotta work on this, and then you need to stretch, and then you need to work out. Like when I'm feeling this way, I just get so overwhelmed by my thoughts right when I wake up that it's just like near impossible to do anything more than the bare minimum. So I kick it off with my still classic books, my 5-minute journal, Thriving as an Empath, my just journal that I write in from time to time with no pressure. I'm not like, oh, I got a daily journal, XYZ. I mainly write when I feel, and I'm having trouble leaning into the feeling. What else has been helping me through these bouts of anxiety are literally just having like a goal for the day, and at least once a day implementing something I just want to do, which lately has been like planting an indoor garden and turning the hallway in the trailer, which we'll get to later, into like a living wall. And not to be like, here's a natural transition into our sponsor for today, but something else I've been doing every morning is taking my AG1, which I'm gonna talk about in like 2 seconds. It's just a really easy way to get my daily nutrients. I don't really have to think about too much, which has just been great, specifically throughout this like brain fog lately. Let me tell you more about him. Last year, I beat myself up in every way imaginable, and I'm really trying my hardest to get that on track this year and stay consistent. The first things first, though, that I realized that I wasn't doing was taking care of myself from the inside out, which AG1's got your girl. AG1 is comprehensive daily nutrition made powerfully simple. I like to just chug it. This is made up of 75 high-quality whole food source ingredients, including vitamins, minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. I take this, it's a non-negotiable every single morning. It's a scoop, 8 ounces of water, shake it, chug it, love it. Literally the taste is, for me, reminiscent of bubble gum, and then sometimes when I drink it, if it's like super cold, it's a little bit more tropical. AG1 just makes it easy to kind of get back on track and keep it simple, which I love. AG1 contains vitamin C, zinc, and functional mushrooms to support overall immune health, which is essential for defending our body from external stressors. If you guys are interested in implementing AG1 into your routine, you can actually head over to athleticgreens.com/Rachel Metz. I've linked it down below for you as well to get started on your order. AG1 is going to give my community a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Thanks, AG1. Okay, so I've been lying. It's a wreck. I need to show you.
I know. Are you guys dying right now? You didn't know you were going to get an RV makeover.
We got a lot to fix. Also, I just ruined the mic, but I'm not re-recording that. And the first major fuck up are that these doors barely move. So this just permanently stays open. We don't ever close this. But let me bring you into my crib that's not finished that I need to finish. I keep breaking everything.
What poor Rachel just glosses over is the flooring. I only had 10% done, really just the bedroom was laid, and I laid this throughout the month because it was just so heavy and tedious. Something that I did though was let it sit in the trailer to see how much weight it would put on, and I permajacked it to level it and just make sure that it's pretty stable. At this point though, I just genuinely should have built or bought a shipping container. Like, I literally built a house minus the exterior. It's just craziness. So this guy's super thick. This guy is even thicker. But this guy is the thickest boy in the bunch. So if you can see, like, my hand now is level to the piece. So like pieces like this that are huge that really I should not be adding more material to, I'm gonna just add a couple of dots of subfloor glue.
As far as lessons learned here, it's just such a difficult flooring option. It's definitely worth it at the end of the day. It is obviously not going to be level in this trailer. This was my first time, but moving into the house renovation, I now know that I would probably cut the edges to be straight to give it a more modern and clean look, but I don't mind the natural look so much in the trailer. But in my house, I'll probably do it just to make it look a little bit more sleek. So there's one thing. I really enjoy about this floor that I didn't notice when I first got it delivered was it was a little bit more orangey red, and then I had some yellow pieces, and so it's like transitioning as I'm doing the flooring, kind of like a sunset. That's not like what I planned, but I do love the two-tone difference in the living spaces.
Callie goes down with a ship for sure.
The stone that I got is called buckskin. It's a flagstone. It's $540 a ton where I purchased it from, and I spent $1,200. Please keep in mind that we also did the bottom of the stock pool tank DIY and the stairs. We did the DIY swinging area in front of my house, as well as the barbecue area and a pathway all the way to my garden, on top of doing this entire trailer plus having some excess left over. So in my opinion, it was a deal because I did a total of 5 projects with it up until this.
Rachel Metz, you gotta commit.
Rachel Metz!
Right, this goes. You have to commit. It's already pouring out the other side.
Here is where my biggest lesson came in. Grouting flagstone just in general is going to be hard because it's uneven, but specifically it's going to be real hard for your first time when everything is uneven. I did the best that I could and cleaned up the best that I could, but it wasn't good enough because the haze on the flagstone was just way too intense. I didn't scrub and clean the grout as well as Allie and her sister did in the bedroom. So we couldn't do like a DIY vinegar remedy. So we had to go a little bit more harsh with a muriatic acid to clean everything off, which it worked like a charm, but I'd rather have not been, exposed to those harsh chemicals, if you will. This damn roof, I swear to God. So we had a roof leak once because I didn't patch it right, which was this piece, and I'm done. Glad that this piece is standing. That's real nice. So when I fixed this, Allie and I came back and tarped 1,000,001 times, I swear to God, because the wind would blow it off and then it'd rain one day and then I'd get so mad. And I started screwing into the roof like 2x4s to hold these tarps down because we have crazy winds. Fast forward to 2 days later, I come into the trailer and the leak is 5 million times worse. I just got completely deflated with myself that I handled this renovation wrong since day 1.
For the ceiling, what I decided to do, instead of freaking out and replacing 15 pieces of drywall, I decided to test all the pieces for mold, and there wasn't any. So what I decided to do was paint with this mold killing paint, which I've linked down below for you, and let it do its magic. It did that, we painted it again, and all my stress is for no reason.
The drywall job on the ceiling is definitely not perfect. I had to patch it in a couple areas since I was walking up there when I redid the roof, which you'll see in next week's episode.
What, baby? Okay, I can't believe it. I feel unstoppable.
kidding me? Okay, on camera, it doesn't look too bad. Let's put these lights on. So exciting. Nothing done to the electrical. Are you ready? Oh, I'm gonna vomit. Okay, paint's done. Okay, come this way. Enough about the leak. Oh my God. It's like, what am I even gonna tell you guys? This next little part of the tour, it's interesting watching me do it back because I'm pretty sure anxiety was just settling in as I was talking about all the things I needed to do and I was stressing. It's interesting how mean I am to myself and like how passive, like with things that are incredible, like building a bathroom for the first time is, even if it was wrong. So reality. Well, hello. Remember this bathroom renovation I did? Well, yeah, it has no water. There's no plumbing, which I'm pretty sure I let you guys know in that episode. And I absolutely hate everything about this bathroom now. Allie, Tori, and a couple of my other friends are telling me that it's ridiculous and I should just leave it. But again, like walking by this 2 years later, or a year later, I can't remember when I did this, but even walking by this now, my taste is so different. Ooh. Right, okay. Great. Are you joking? Are you joking? Are you joking me? I'm gonna vomit. Right. Out of control. Now we'll fix the holes, but I genuinely think it's so interesting that Rachel totally discredited. Did exactly what we said we're gonna do. So this door opens and you'll be able to latch it. So like at night, if you have guests, your master can be private and then everybody can use the bathroom and I'll figure out a solution like to just block this off in the meantime. But are you joking? What the heck? Okay, now let's be nicer to the Rachel about the bedroom, shall we? Like, are you joking? Who has a stained glass? Ugh! Let me show you the bedroom. Oh boy. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna show them the reality of all of this. And you know, it's like, I'm not gonna hide from it anymore, people. Again, I find it hilarious that Rachel didn't slow down and appreciate all the hard work. I mean, a jumbo TV pops out of the end of this bed. Let us not forget. And it lifts up for storage. Like, come on. Anyways, so let's slow down for a second, Rachel, and be proud of ourselves now that we're kind of making our way through. This bedroom, when I said it was tiny, it is 9 feet by 7.5 feet, which is roughly 63 square feet. It is tiny. The one thing that really threw me for this room for a while was the window trim, because originally in the episode where I built this bed, I put ledges here so you could put stuff, you know, but you couldn't because the TV lifted up into it and the bed lifted up into this one. So instead, something I've been doing is framing out the windows with picture frame trim. Because I mean, all of them are very scenic and I just think it's very fitting. We did it in the kitchen, so I carry that over throughout all of the windows. So that's what you see here. It's like a stained picture trim, but you'll get that when we do the bedroom. House Rachel, take it away. Wrap up this episode, why don't you? I'm fine. It's like officially done. There's no more leaks. Built a tiny house at this point. I don't know, I'm crying. I can't believe I did it. I mean, I didn't do it alone, but like, I can't believe I did it. Whoa, I don't think anybody told me about this part. You just built a tiny house. Oh, you're safe, you just literally just built a second house on your property. Did anybody ever mention this part about crying after you're done renovating? Oh, I put this in. I'm such a genius. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, now we're gonna leave the trailer and we're gonna start this dreaded roof project. I kind of want to explain it to you guys because it's not what you would typically do. We're walking over to what will be my future shop. But obviously we need to renovate the trailer. Then we need to renovate that house. I want to add a greenhouse in between connecting these two structures, and then this will be the shop. Where was I?